Hey guys, welcome to this video, and today I'm going to teach you about the prototypes in JavaScript. I'm sorry about my mic. I will get a new microphone in the future if I do see a good support from the people actually wanting to learn something that's useful for them. So that's why I'm trying to make this video. So why do you have to learn prototypes in arrays? Well, actually, what people usually tend to do is, they tend to use a lot of for loops, and that makes things much more complicated. Like if there is any inbuilt function given by JavaScript itself, isn't it better to use that function instead of making your own way of going through that problem? Well, yeah, there's no sense in me doing that stuff, so that's why I'm trying to make this video to show you all of the prototypes in a JavaScript for the arrays, so that you can make your code look much more efficient, much more easier to understand, and you can make it look much more shorter and much more reliable, because the prototypes are perfectly tested for all statements. That means it will not break in any statement, while maybe your for loops can be a little bit more memory efficient if you know how to make them a little bit more time efficient, or you can manage the memory. But it doesn't really matter, because the prototypes are really much memory efficient already. So yeah, I will definitely prefer you to use the prototypes instead of using your own way of going through the problem. Okay, so without wasting the time anymore, let's get started. So first of all, let's just make an array. Okay, so we will make an array. First of all, I'm gonna say r is equal to, we'll be having 1 2 3 4 5. So now let's say, what do you want? You want to have, there's an index. Okay, let's say, one second. Okay, so basically the first prototype we're going to be using is called add prototype. So maybe the add prototype might not be in the snippet itself, but it is a prototype and it's really helpful. Trust me guys, this prototype is actually going to help you in a lot of situations. Like for example, we have an array right here, and we want to select the index of this array. Let's say for example the index, the value at index number 1, that is this one. So what we do normally, we'll say, yeah, select the index 1. I'm gonna say console.log array. So basically we will get something like 2 in the console log. I'll be showing you that one. Just wait a minute. So we're gonna see something like that. We're gonna see 2 in our console log. Okay, so that's something we will be seeing in our console log. But what if we want to select the last digit, let's say the last index of our array? What we usually do, we will actually say, we cannot say that here, but I'm going to say normally what we do, we will be saying array select the index of array the length -1, and that will actually give us 5, because that is the last index. So usually this makes a thing a little bit more bigger, a little bit more complicated. And what can you do to make this a little bit more easier, a lot more easier, not a little bit? Okay, so in that case we will be using .add method, add function. Just put write .add like that, and I will be showing you, like, you can usually select your indexes. Like normally, let's say index number 1, index number 0, that's 1 with the value of 1, and you can see it just shows us 1. We know the last index is 4, that will give us 5. It gives 5. But usually we will be selecting the last as array.length -1. But in this using the add prototype, what we usually do, we need to just mention -1. That means it will select the last, it will select the index having the length of the array -1. Okay, it will just do that thing by default. You don't have to write anything like that. So it gave us 5. If we will write -2, that means array.length -2, and you don't have to mention the array.length. It will just see the length of this array -2, so it will just give us 4. You can also go like this till 1. It will just work fine. So yeah, you do get the point. The add is a really useful method if you really want to do something useful. So if you want to save your time, like, you don't have to write array.length -1, stuff like that. it will do the work for you without any issues. So I will.
What?
Okay, so that was pretty easy, right? Let's move on to the another one. That's called Concat. Okay, just don't get bored, guys. You can do something, yeah, I will tell you, I will probably tell you to do something cool with these functions. Just keep them in mind, okay? Just keep these functions in mind. You don't have to learn them, but as you already know, you can access most of the functions by just typing array. Just getting any array like that, let's say 1, and you just type a dot after that. Okay, a minute, we cannot actually get to do that because we have to make it like that actually. So yeah, you can see we have the concat method already. Then we have the within, then we have entries, and we have array, fill, filter, find index, flat. I don't know about flat map, but you can also maybe use that. Includes, yeah, index of join, definitely. Keys, in last index of length, map, pop, push, reduce right, reverse, shift, slice, sum, sort, splice to local string, to string, unshift values. Oh, this is a good option. I will go through all of them, okay? So yeah, this thing is going to be a lot more fun. So now we are talking about concat. So usually what will concat do? It will add two arrays together. So let's say we have r1 is equal to 1 2 3, and then we have r2 is equal to 4 4 5 6. So how will you go around adding these arrays into with themselves? So that's a lot more confusion. Like you will think about, oh, I don't really know that how can I add this. Maybe I have to do a for loop, and I will push the both of these value into a new array. So you can see that you need to make this program a little bit more memory. You need to put a little bit more pressure on the memory, and you have to make your code a little bit more bigger. So you can see you have to do a lot more things. Well, you can get things done just by reading one small code. You even don't have to mention array 2 like that. So basically this is a real life condition. Like, you'll need to use these things a lot of times. Let's say you're getting data from two APIs and you want to add them together. So you'll be doing a for loop, and you will add both of the data into a new array. So if I hope you do understand what I'm just talking about. So yeah, you have to do a lot of things if you will go doing something like that. But basically what you can actually do, you have array 1, array 2. What you can do to get the concatenated version, like the added version of both arrays, you can see array 3 is equal to array 1 dot concat array 2. So if you're gonna say console log array 3, concat is another function. Concat, my bad. You can see now we do get the result with all of the with both of the arrays added together. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6. It doesn't show us any there's a sub array. No, it doesn't show us anything like that. They just added them together without any issues. It was a very clean adding. You can see it does really make your code a little bit more efficient. Now what you can actually do, you don't have to mention the array 2. You can just do like here array1 dot concat and this string, and then you can just console the log array1 itself. So yeah, you can make these things a little bit more easier. So it's all up to you whatever you want to do. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that there's a thing like that's called concat that will add two arrays with themselves, and it will save you a lot of time. So yeah, then we have another thing called as copy within, like you might have already seen. So basically what copy within actually does, I will be showing you as normally. We're gonna have r is equal to, I'm gonna say 1 2 3 4 5, and if you say copy within, I will actually explain you that here you can see we have first of all the target, the number, okay? So it will get the target from an index. Like we'll select index number 2, it will select index number 2, it will select the number at index number 2 or anything, and then it needs to be number, okay? It actually needs to be index, I mean to say. Then we have this dot in the end. So basically, first of all, you need to select the target. So basically, one second, I will show you. So basically, here they will ask you three things. That is the target, like where do you want to copy the value to, and that will be an index. So I'm gonna say let's copy the value of index 3 to 0, that means we need to first of all put the index where we want to get the value to copy it to, and then we need to put the start number, like what we want to start the number with. So we're gonna say we want to start our target with index 3. So if you will not mention any endpoint, let's say we want to end our index with at 4, that means it will only copy the index 3 to 0. If we will not mention something like that, it will also copy the 5 to the first index, and I will show you exactly what is going to happen. So if you're gonna get our characters, you can see it actually did what I actually explained it's gonna do. So let me just copy it right there. I'm gonna say this. So this is exactly what happened. So what we actually did, we just said copy the elements starting from 3 to till the array.length -1 actually to the index of 0. That means it will just copy the value of third index to 0. It will copy the value of fourth index to index 1. It will copy the value of fifth index if it exists to the index 2, something like that. And when the endpoint comes, it will stop copying, and it will just show the initial values, that whatever values are there exactly. So we do see what we get with writing something like that. Now let's mention an endpoint. That means we will only be copying the value from index 3 to 0, and the endpoint is 4. That means 4 will not be counted. If we mention our endpoint is 5, that means 4, the value of at index 4 will also be copied, but we will only copy the value of that value at index 3, that is 4, to the into the value of index 0, that is 1. The 1 will be replaced with the 4, which is located at index number 3, and index 4, that is the value of 5, will not be counted. It will be marked as the dead end. So let us see if it actually worked. Well, yeah, it did actually worked out. They replaced the number 1 with 4, and they showed us normally 2, 3, 4, 5. So you do get it. It's not as much complicated as you might think it is. It's a lot more easier. So copy within can help you a lot of times. You can make your own way to go around using this prototype. So yeah, I'll definitely prefer you to check out this prototype. Do use it. It's a lot more it can help you a lot more than you really can imagine. So yeah, I will definitely prefer you to do it. Okay, so then we have the every prototype. So basically I will just show you that. So basically, all right, so exactly what is happening right here. Let's suppose you're given an array. Okay, so I want to mention the copy within, it doesn't only work with the numbers, it will work with anything, like it will work with subarrays, arrays, strings, whatever you have, booleans, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I just wanted to clear the point. So the every method, let me just get you into a situation. Let's say you are given an array and you're told check if the array contains the number smaller than 1. As an example, if it does contain number smaller than 1, then the array is not clean array. Then just show the array is not clean, something like that. But if it does contain if all the digits in the array are greater than 0, then just return true, or say yeah, it is clean. So how would you go around doing this, solving this issue? What you will actually do, you will probably just do a for loop or do a for each loop, and just keep checking if the value of any element is smaller than 0, then just return false and break it there. Otherwise it will just keep going and going and going. So don't you think there's a lot harder way to do this thing? Yeah, there's an easy way to do this, and that's called .every method. So what exactly .every is going to do, it's an array. It will take an array function. So array function is normally like what you will give an argument, you will give it a number. Okay, so the number, it will it's like a loop that will start from the index 0. We will initially call it as number. You can call it anything. You can call it I, you can call it G, you can call it haha, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just, to make things more clear, I will just name it as num. You don't have to you can mention the brackets, but you don't have to mention the brackets if you're only giving it one argument, that is a num. Yeah, so yeah, we'll take the argument number and we will loop around it. We will give it, we will check what we can do with it. So what exactly you are going to do with it is you will be saying if number is greater than 0. So basically that is only the thing you have to do. Dot array, you're looping through all of the indexes in the array and you're just checking if number is greater than 0. If anywhere, it's just, you just have to put here a condition. So yeah, that's all we have to do. If anywhere in the array this condition turns out to be false, it will just return as false. If the condition was true in the future, it will still be false. Okay, so it is important that every value in this array should be greater than 0. So let's see how it turned out. We are hoping for a true value. Yeah, it did give us true because all of the values are greater than 0. Now let's say we have a value 0 itself. What's going to happen? False. So you basically see only one change. Okay, let me make it a little bit more change here. Let's change the middle one. So you can see it just checks if every value of containing the array contains is greater than 0. If it's not, then just return false. So you can see it does make situation a lot more easier. So you can just put any type of condition you want here. It's not only about 0. You can literally put anything, any damn thing right there. Yeah, it's your way of going through the solutions. You have to create the solutions your own self. So yeah, that was it for the array method. Now there comes the fill method. Okay, let me just tell you something. I personally do like fill method. It's a lot more good while you're working with arrays. So let's just make an array. I want to say it has 1 2 3 4 5, and now if we're going to type fill, you're going to see they will first of all ask you for the value, like what number you want to add in the no, I'm not actually add, you want to replace all of the values with, as an example. Now that we're going to say if you're only going to put the value in here, what is going to happen is going to replace all of the values containing in all of the indexes with that number. Let's say we want to fill it with 0. That means it will have contained 5 zeros on all of the indexes. And I will show you that one. You can see it replaced all of the values in all of the indexes with 0. So if that is only that will only work if you will be putting it only 0, only the value, but we will not be doing that today. What we will be actually doing, we will be providing, you can see we have more options. We have the value, so we want to replace the start number, the start index. We want to replace the value at index 1, that is 2, with 0, and it will just keep replacing till the index of 3, that is 4. That's to be the value of 4. So I'm gonna say keep replacing till, let me think about that. It was index 1, it will replace that one, it will replace this one, so we'll keep replacing till the index 3. Now let's see how it turned out. We do get 2 zeros. So what actually happened, this is the value that we want to replace the thing with. This is the start value, that it will replace the start value till the end value. It will not replace the value given at the end of at ending index. It will replace all of the indexes that lie between this that lie starting from the start index and less than the ending index. That means it will replace the value of index 1 with 0 and index 2 with 0. It will not replace the value of index 3 with 0, and it will not interfere with any of the other things. So you can see though fill is actually a helpful method. You can just go your own way doing solving more problems using the fill method. You can just replace all the values with something or replace some few values with something. So yeah, it's only your way of doing things. It's not, like I said before, it's not important you need to put it as a number. I'm just making an example, like I'm just showing you. You can do it as a number, but you can do a lot more things. You can use it as a string, boolean, or whatever you want. Okay, so it's all depends upon you. Now comes an interesting thing that's called filter. Yeah, to be honest, it helped me a lot of times. So yeah, I personally do like it, and I will hope you also like it. So probably filter will have a normally have all of the values. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let me just make a condition. Now let's say what we want the numbers, we want to remove the numbers that are smaller than 4. Okay, we want to remove the numbers that are smaller than 4. So how exactly will you go around doing this thing? Probably a for loop. Of course, yeah, the old school for loops. But no, there is a new method that's called filter. What you can do, you just make a filter. Okay, not fill, I'm gonna say filter. Filter will actually take these things. It will take a value, and it will take actually arrow function with the condition. When I say take the num as an array and as a condition, and as a as an argument. Now here we need to put the condition just like in every method. But in the every method it returns true or false, and in the filter method, whichever value of the index passes this if statement will be actually added in, will be actually available to see in the array. If the value of at any index will not match this condition, it will be removed from the array. Yeah, that's how it goes. We're gonna say if num is greater than 3, that's all. If num is greater than 3, just keep it. If it's not, just remove it. Now let's see how the things have gone so far. Yeah, it showed us 4 and 5. Now I did make it a little bit more easier for the loop to think. You can see the first 3 indexes were smaller, the last one was greater. Now let's replace the last one with 1 and the first one with 5, so that it will make a little bit more difference, and you will see, yeah, they showed us 5 and 4 because we did made the difference. We said, okay, we're gonna have an array with 5, 2, 3, 4, 1 values, and whatever value at any at all of the indexes are greater than 3, just keep them. If the value is not greater than 3, just remove it. That's what filter does. It just cleans your array. It just only keeps the values that actually meet the conditions, that actually meet this condition. If it doesn't meet, just remove it. Yeah, that's how we do it. Okay, so that was it for the filter method, and then we have the find method. Oh man, these all methods are just golden methods. Just trust me, these are golden methods. Yeah, I'm just saying you, these are golden methods. I will give you this source code link down in the description, so you don't have to worry about any damn thing. Okay, so find method, I do like it. Yeah. So what actually find does, find is kind of like a filter. It will get the indexes. It will it will check for the condition. But the thing is, the filter will return all of the all of the values in the array containing matching the condition. But find will only replace the first matched condition. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy the same array, replace the 1, 5. So basically we want to have same condition. We want to get the any value that is value with more than 3 containing in the string, in the array, but we only want only one of them. Like the whenever our loop will see the first element matching our condition, just get that value and stop the string, stop the loops. We don't want to go any more further. So that's what find does. We're just gonna have a find, and we're just gonna take an argument num with the arrow function, and it's gonna say the same thing. Whenever it's greater than 3, if any of the values match this condition, it will return the value of that element, and it will stop the loop, and it will only return that thing as a string, or an whatever the thing is, as a number. Doesn't matter actually. It will return the value. It will not put it as an array. It will just put it as normal values. So I will show you that one. You can see it just put it as a number. It just copied the value. It just deleted anything else. It just pasted the value in the array variable, and that's all it did. It just find the first index that was, it just find the first value that matched this condition, that was actually 4. Yeah, 4 actually it matched the condition. You can see there was also 5. Why didn't show 5? Because 4 came earlier than 5. So if we have 1 here, we have 5 there. So what's gonna happen? They're gonna show us 5 because 5 was at the early stage. 5 came on the index number 1 and 4 was at the index number 3, so it just returned us 5 instead of 4, because 4 we were able to find 4 earlier than we were able to find 5 earlier than 4. So that's how find a prototype work. It just gets a function and a condition. It will anywhere in this array, if anywhere in the array it will match the condition, it will return the value. So yeah, that's about the find. And I personally do like find. I will prefer you to really much find the thing, really much use find method, find function to iterate to your array. And if you just want the particular value, the first one, you can do something like that. And there's another thing as called as find index. It's the same as the find one. All it does, it will just return the index of that of the value of that thing particularly. It will not return the value, but it will return the index. So I'm gonna say console.log array. Now we're gonna see what's gonna happen. It returned, okay, 1 second, find index. It will return 1 in this case. Okay, it returned the array, it returned the index. So 5 locates at the index 1. It returned the index of the element of the actually the data where the condition is met. So that is at the index number 1. 5 is greater than 3. Yeah, it returned the index 1. So we do get to see the index 1. So that's about the find index. And now we have, okay, so basically we will have another thing called as includes. Includes is a very popular method. I hope you already have heard about the includes. It will just check if our array 1 2 3 4 5 includes any value that we want it to check. Let's say if it includes the number 6, it's gonna either return true or false. That's all it's gonna do. We're gonna see, does the array includes 5? It's 6. No, it doesn't. Does it contain 2? Yes, it does contain 2. So yeah, that's basically it for the includes thing. It will just check if our array includes any of the value that we want to check it at. Okay, yeah, we can just do it like that. Includes a really helpful method. You will be using it a lot of time other than using these functions. So I will just prefer you to just keep in mind, really dive it in, really clear about the includes function. So yeah, it just check. It just includes will actually loop through all of the indexes, and it will check all of the values. If any value match the value, the number you gave you or the string you gave you, it will check if the value of you gave in the includes match the value on any index. It will just return true. If it doesn't, it will return false. So yeah, that's about that one. And then we have index of. So 1 second, index of, actually it's capital of. They usually do like the camel case stuff. It's not I think it's actually Pascal style. No, it's camel case style. So let's leave it. Now index of is a really good method that you can actually use. I will just show you why. So basically, if you want to use index of, let me just show you. It will search a number. Okay, it will search a number. So basically, if you want to say, I want to get the index of the number 5. There is number 5 in your string, in your array, and you want to get the index of number 5, or you want to get the index of any string, or literally anything. I'm just taking the numbers as an example. You want to get the index of number 330. Okay, you want to get the index of number 30. You don't know where the number 30 locates in the array, so you want to get the index of that. So I'm going to say index of 30, the value 30. It will loop through all of the array, and it will just return you the index. That is true. Yeah, is it true? 0 1 2. Yeah, 30 is located at index 2, so basically it just returns you the index of the value that you gave it. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, it is cool. Then we have the join join function. And join function is a lot, it's a very good function that you can actually use. What actually join does, it will convert your array into a string. Basically, yeah, it does that. And I will show you exactly what it does. 1 2 3 4 5. If you will put a join, okay, join, it will take a separator. Okay, join will actually, so join method, if you will give it as a, if you write dot join, normally on the dot join, I will just do console.log array. So basically it just gave us 1 2 3 4 5. That means I didn't give it any separator, it just added the separator by default, that is comma. So yeah, it just added all of the values in the array together, and it converted that into a string. Now if I will give it something like this, I will just give it a string. That means it will add all of these things into this string. You can see it just added them together. So if I will just I will just give it like plus, you can see what is going to happen. It just did like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Why didn't it did something when I give it the string? Because this is an empty string. This is an empty string. That means it's nothing. It's not even a space. You can give it a space like that. So yeah, basically that's how we do. That's how you actually convert an array into into a string without any issues. You can also give it a line break. You can give it literally anything you want it to, you want to give it. So yeah, you can you can do another thing. You can just give it a plus sign, and you can do eval array. Maybe what's gonna happen? We're gonna get number 15. Okay, so yeah, I will not be talking about the eval function. Actually, it just looks out for the symbols, and it will just add the symbols together and the numbers, blah blah, stuff like that. So yeah, that's another thing. I'm not gonna talk about that right now. So yeah, you can see it did actually whatever we want it to do. You can just get it normally with the spaces, or however you want it to do. You want the array to be converted into a string. So yeah, I personally do like join. I'll use it every single time whenever I want to convert the array into a string. So you should be remembering this thing. Join method is a really helpful method. I will just prefer you to definitely go check it out. It's a very helpful method. So yeah, don't forget to check it out. Okay, just use it yourself also. And then we have the pop method. Basically the pop is the old school. Everyone knows what the pop does. It removes the last value from the array. That is, it removes the value. It will actually do like the array dot length minus 1 dot splice. It will actually remove the last index. If I do just a pop, it doesn't contain any number, it doesn't contain any string like that. It will just be like dot pop. It will remove the last index, that is 5. It will only just show us 1 2 3 4. Okay, no, actually, if we do if we will just do like array is equal to something dot pop, it will actually return as the value that it actually removed from the array. But if we do array dot pop like that, now we get the array. You can see it actually removed that number. But if you just give it the pop in the array itself, it will actually, the pop returns the value that it deleted. So yeah, you do get to see the value of that thing. It's basically a very clean thing. I will really not, I know it's up to you. You want to remove the latest added value into your array, you can do it using the pop. It will remove the last index. The pop will actually remove the last index, and there's something similar to dot pop. That's called shift. Yeah, that's called shift. So shift will remove the first array. Okay, the shift will remove the first index. As the pop removes the last index, shift removes the first index. You can see. Okay, I console log 2 times. My bad. Shift removed the one from the array. That means it removed the first index. So they are pretty similar to each other. Just the difference is pop removes the last index and shift removes the first. Pop removes the last value in the array, and shift removes the first value in the array. So yeah, you do get to see the similarity. It will remove the first value from the array, and pop will remove the last value from the array. And then we have unshift. So unshift will actually do what? Okay, now let me just mention the push. So we do actually go through the things exactly. We have an array 1 2 3 4, and we want to add another value, that is 5. I want to add it in the I want to add it in this array on the last position from I'm just adding like 1 2 3 4. Now I want to add 5 in this with this one, so it will just go like 1 2 3 4 5. I can do what? I can do array dot push. I want to push 5 into this array. I'm going to say console dot log the array. So basically I do get to see 1 2 3 4 5. So basically it added 5 into the array. So that's how we do push. The pop will remove the last value, the push will add the value at the last into the from the into the last index. So that's how push works. And then we have unshift. They are like brothers, the push, pop, shift, unshift. Shift will remove the first index, and unshift will add the value in the first index. Pop will remove the value on the last index, and push will add the value in the last index. So I'm gonna say array dot unshift. I'm gonna say here we are getting started with okay 1 2 3 4, and I'm just doing like array dot unshift. I'm just adding the number 5 on the first position of the array, so it will just go like 5 1 2 3 4. So you will be using these things a lot of time. Like basically you want to add a new value, new data to the array, but you want to keep it on the first position. You don't want to add it in the last position. So that's how you can do it. You can just use the unshift method, unshift function. It will add the new value on the first position in the array. So yeah, I do really personally like this function. It will make the work a lot more easier. Yeah, I would definitely prefer you to use these things, get to know more about these things, and definitely use it. Okay, they will help you a lot of. Okay, then we have reverse option. Reverse will do what? Let's say we have an index of like 1 2 3 4 5. If I want to say reverse, it will not take any arguments. It will just be like reverse. What it's gonna do? It's gonna reverse the array. It's gonna print the last the value located in the last index into the first index, and that's how it's gonna reverse all of the things. It's gonna replace the value at the last -1 index into the 0 + 1 index, that is 1 index. So it's gonna reverse all of the array. If I'm gonna do console log array now, you're gonna see the reverse version, that is 5 4 3 2 1. It just reverses the thing. It doesn't really matter if it's going to be a number or anything. It's just going to reverse the array. So basically you will see the array rotated. Okay, yeah, that's what the reverse function actually does. And then we have a slice option. Yeah, slice is a good thing if you actually want to use it. I want to show you how we can use it, the slice function in the array. So basically the slice contains a starting number, that is the index, and the ending index. So basically what will slice do? Slice, it will ask you for the starting index, like whatever you want to keep in the array. Like you want to remove other indexes from the array. I just want to keep the values from index 2 till the end, that is till the array dot length -1. I'm just gonna give it the start point, not the end point. That means it will take the end point as default as array dot length -1. I'm gonna do console.log array. What is this? It's gonna show me. It's gonna show me 3 4 5. Like I mentioned, 3 4 5. It's only gonna keep that one. It's gonna remove all other things that I don't want. Now I only want I only want the index, the values at index 1 and 2, the values starting from index 1 till 2. So I'm going to show you what actually it does. It just give it 2, because I already told you before, the endpoint will not be considered. It will be considered like the value starting, the index is starting from 1 till 2. 2 is not considered. It's going to say till 2. That means less than 2 and is equal to or greater than 1. So that's how it works. We got 2. If I'm going to say 3, that means it should give us 2 and 3 till the index number 3, that is this one. It will not return itself, but it will just what it actually does, it will just stop there. Okay, when it comes at this point, it will just stop. We should see 2 and 3. Yeah, we do see 2 and 3. It will remove all of the indexes, all of the data from the array, and it will only keep that one. So that was for the slice method. Then we have the splice method. Yeah, so basically the slice method will only keep the indexes you provided, and the splice method will only remove the indexes you give it. Okay, it will remove that one. So 1 2 3 4 5. If I'm gonna say I'm gonna remove something from the array, so it will take the start number and delete count. So it will take the start number, like where you want to start the deleting from, and how many, I don't know, how many data you want to delete after that number. It will not take the end number. It will just take how many numbers you want to delete after that one, so that you don't have to mention the indexes. Like you don't want to say I want to start from index 04 to index 5. You don't have to mention something like that. You just want to say the delete count. Let's say I want to start the deleting process from number 1, from the index 1, that is this one, and it should delete 2 digits. That means it will delete the 2 itself, and it will delete the 3 also. It will delete the data at index after this one, that is with the value of 3, and add the index of 2. So I'll show you log array. We should see 1 4 5. Okay, so it's my bad. I already told you it returns the thing. So yeah, we see 1 4 5. So now what exactly this did, it started the deleting process from the index 1, that was 2, and it just keep going until the count runs out. That means it will just, if you're just gonna give it splice 1 and 1, it will just take this as a delete count. It will delete the index number 1, and it will not go to the index. It will not go to the another index, because the delete count is only 1. You can see, we'll see 1 3 4 5, and if I will give it a delete count of 0, that means it will not delete anything, because you have not given it any value, like how many numbers it should be deleting, how many data it should be deleting. If you're not giving it anything, any data, like at the endpoint, it will just delete all of the digits of this one, I guess. Yeah, it deleted all of the digits. It will just take it as default as array.length -1. So you have to give it a start point, and how many number of data you want to delete you want to be deleted in total. So yeah, you can give it like 2, so it will just return as 1 4 5, and you can see how easy and clean that was. Yeah, I personally liked it. So now we do got that one. Okay, so we have this sum method, and sum is actually similar to every. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy the every function. I'm gonna put it here. They're just similar. So what actually every does, it will just check the array with the condition, and if anywhere in the array the condition did not met, it will just return false. But what the sum function will actually do, it will check in the array, and if one condition did match this thing, it will return 2. It doesn't matter if all of the conditions return false. Only if one data in the array return true to this function, it will just return true in the whole statement for the whole array. Okay, I'm gonna say console.log array. So basically you can see we're just saying if sum, if the data is greater than 0, here it returned false because there was a 0 in there. But what should it return here? It should return true, because there are other data that are greater than 0. So it basically made this situation as true. So if I'm going to say if the data is greater than 4, that's only 5, so that means only one data is matching the condition. Let's see what's going to happen. It returns true, because yeah, it just wants one data to return true. That means it just wants some of the value to be true, to meet the condition. If none of the value meet the condition, it's just basically going to show us false. So yeah, that's how basic it was to understand the every and sum function in this one. Every will check for, it will make sure that all of the data are meeting the condition. If not, then return false. Sum will check if only one of the data is meeting the condition, then return true. If not, if none of the values in the array are meeting the condition, just return false. So that's how it does. It just it just keeps its hope till the end point that any one of the data will meet the condition. If not, then yeah, it loses its hope. And then we have the sort function. As I do like sort a lot, because it just makes your sorting a lot more easier. You can make your own sorting methods, but the global way of doing sorting is 1 2 3 4 5, and it will have a sort, my bad, it will have a sort function. And basically what does sort do, I will just show you. So we have this sort method right there, like it's just gonna get a sort method like that. I'm gonna say console.log array. It doesn't have to get any array, I know, anything like that. So basically if I'm gonna say give it 5 1 1 2, so I'm just giving a shuffled array like that, and what's gonna happen, I'm just gonna see 1 2 3 4 5. It's gonna sort the array based on the lower to the higher number. So it's gonna just sort the array. It will just give the it will just show the lower digit on the first place, then the say number 2 on the second place, then the number 3 on the third place, and it will just go on like that. So that's about the sort function. But what if you want it to be in the descending order, like you don't want, so this is actually in the ascending order. I don't know about the spelling, it should be wrong. But what if you want it to make it in a descending order? You want to get first of all the 5 5 to 1 4 3. So I will just prefer you to do this thing, descending order. I will just prefer you to just use a reverse number, just use a reverse function in it. So it will just give you 5 4 3 2 1. So you have to use one function with another one, so that you can actually get to see some results actually. And the sort method doesn't only work for the numbers, it will also work for the alphabets also. Yeah, that is true, it will definitely work for the alphabets. It will it will manage the alphabets on it will just first of all convert the alphabets into bytes. That means it will have the smallest value, then goes the B C D E F G, and I can actually show you that one. Let's make array is equal to Z B D A dot sort. You can see it just gives back A B D Z, so it knows how the things are working. If I'm gonna give it afterwards 5 and 1, you will first of all see 1 and 5, because when converted to byte, the actually the dot sort method will convert all of the values to byte codes, and it will compare the byte codes with themselves. It will compare the byte codes, who is the lowest byte code will be kept in the first place, and then another one will be kept in the second place. You can see it kept 1 on the first place, 5 on the second place, and then A on the third place, and A B D Z. So basically, yeah, it did stuff like that. And the reverse one will also work on this one. See, we reversed it and we did something like that. So you can see it was literally a lot more easier than we expected it to be. And also you can give the sort method a custom your own function. You can give it a arrow function, so that it will return the values based on how you want it to. You can just like give it the arguments of A and B. That means it will get the numbers at index whatever index it's looping it from, and it will subtract the values with themselves. So you can do something like that. So I will actually exactly show you the condition when we have to use functions like this one. So basically, let me remove this one, and I'm gonna make a condition like that. I'm gonna say r is equal to, it's gonna take an object, it's gonna take the name, name is equal to test, money is equal to 500. We're just gonna copy this one, test 1, test 2, money is equal to 200, and money is equal to 100. So basically, how will we expect it to sort the thing? If you're gonna say dot sort it, I'm gonna say console.log the array. What we will be seeing the things. We will see the actually array with the objects returned as normal, because it doesn't know what it has to sort, because it doesn't have the value to sort. So basically at this point you have to make your own custom function, and that is normally you're gonna give it an a and b arguments. And what we want to do, it will just by default do like a return something like something minus something. So as default what it does, it just do like a minus b. It will minus the argument, it will actually minus one object, the value at at one object, this object value, with another object, and whatever value it gets, it will just keep it in itself, and it will just keep subtracting the another elements value with themselves, and it will just at the end sort all of them together. It was sort the lowest one with on the first place and the second one second place. But how do we expect this array to get sorted based on how much money they own? So the guy with the lowest money will be on the first place. So how do we actually do that? We actually have to give it a dot money. That means it actually access the value of the object using dot money. So basically what we should see now is, yeah, we do see 100, 200, and 500. It just sorted it out based on how much money they have. But what if you want to sort it according to the descending order? So I'm going to say sorting array with objects according to ascending order. So I'm gonna copy the same thing. All I'm gonna do is do like b dot money minus a dot money. That means it will just do the reverse thing. It will subtract the last number with the number that is smaller than the that with the last index with the index that comes after the last one. So it will just do the things but from the reverse side. So basically you will see something like that. You will see 500, 200, 100. So basically, yeah, you do get to see a lot of more things, but I personally do think you can use the reverse method also. So yeah, reverse pretty much works fine. You don't have to use another methods, but it's all about personal things. If you can do the same thing, why just make the things a little bit more bigger? Why first of all make them in ascending order, then reverse them, while you can just make them in this get them in descending order. You can just sort them in descending order normally. Okay, so yeah, that was for the sort method. Sort is a lot more complicated, it's a little bit more complicated other than all of the other functions, but it's worth learning. It's worth spending your time to you need to understand the sort functions, because it can help you a lot of times. Yeah, it did help me a lot of times, so it will also help you a lot of times. Okay, that was for the sort function. And then we have the function of probably the string. That's not actually a function, that's a basic thing. We have an array 1 2 3 4 5. I'm gonna say convert it to dot string. I'm gonna say console.log array. You can see 1 2 3 4 5. So basically what it does, it just dot string is like a dot string is actually just like a dot join without any arguments. They do the same thing, just if you will give it any arguments, it will just convert it like that. But there's a difference in using dot string. Basically, if you will give it some value, like if you just give it the number of 16, it will not do the thing like that. But let me just show you. You have a I'm gonna say number 1. Was it 16 or was it 2? So leave it. I just wanted to show you something, but you have to just do like dot. Okay, it needs to be okay. Never mind. Crap the shit out. So basically, what I wanted to show you is something like this. I wanted to show you. You have the value a. We wanna check the char code at something. Wanna say to string. It will actually convert the thing into a byte, I guess. Yeah, it did. Okay, so this is the byte value of this string actually. is the byte value of A. So like I was saying, how the sorting actually works, we're just getting the byte value at A, and that is 61, and if I get the byte value of B, that should be 62. You can see if I get the byte value of 1, it actually sort the things like that. Get the byte value of 1. Okay, 1 is not defined actually. I need to convert 1 to a string actually, first of all. That is 31. You can see 31 is a lot more smaller than 61 or 62. So if I get the byte value of Z, it's 7A. That means it's a lot more bigger than just that one. So 7A actually means it's with the value of 7 plus the value of A. That's I guess 61. So yeah, that's how we can convert a normal code. A normal, you can just check the value of normal string into the byte values, and if you want to convert it to binary, I do think there's an option to do that one. Maybe we have to put it here too. Yeah, so by first of all getting the character code at, it'll read the character code at that point. So basically what the character code do, character code will read the character code at that point. It reads the character code of Z. So basically, if I'm gonna put it A here, it should be returning 97. So it just read the character code of that point, and all I have to do is just gonna do like to string 2. So this is a small code. You just have to keep it in mind. Just don't understand how it works. You can understand how it works, but I will normally say just keep it in mind. So this thing will convert any of the digit you give it here into binary. So this is the binary number for Z. I'm gonna say convert Z to binary. Alrighty. What we see, ABC. Okay, it's so you can see this returns the same value. 0 4 times 1 0 1 0 0. Okay, there's a difference. 0 1 0. We don't get to see the first 0. Maybe they can be some. Alrighty. I need some more optimization. I don't know. Character code as 0 maybe. Okay, just leave it. Okay, we all this works the same way it should work. So I don't know about what we just saw right now, but yeah, you don't have to keep these complicated things in mind. Just keep them in mind. Dot to string works like that. Works like dot join without any separator. Yeah, wasn't it cool? Yeah, it was cool. And okay, so we are getting to our last function, last prototype. It was a long journey. Okay, so last prototype, reduce. So it will reduce your array to the function you gave it to. I'm gonna say array 1 2 3 4 5. Let's say you want to add all of the values in this array together. You want to add them together. What you will usually do, you will just have a for loop. So what will you do? You will just have a for loop till you will loop till the length of this array, and you will create a new variable, and you will keep adding the values of this array into that one by doing plus equal to number, blah blah, stuff like that. So what's the easy way of doing that? The easy way of doing that is using the reduce method. Reduce will take two arguments, that is a previous condition, the last condition. It will have a arrow function, or you can just directly make a function normally. Okay, I'm just saying arrow function because a person like arrow function, that's why I'm just saying. I'm gonna say previous, the previous value of okay, so what it takes, it will just take the previous, that means the 0. It will take the value of the previous index.
She put the door open.
So basically what it does, it will take a index, let's say for example 0, and it will take the index, let's say for example 0 plus 1. It will take the value of both of the indexes. What we want to do, we want to return previous plus current. We want to return the stuff like that. That means what it actually will do, I'm going to make a live presentation. It will take the index 1, index 0, that is containing the value of 1. It will plus with the index of 0 plus 1, that is index with containing the value 2. That gives us 3. So it will replace the index of 1 and 2 with the just the index with the value. It will just return the, it will just replace the value of 1 and 2 at the two indexes with the new index that is containing the value of 3, and it will plus it with the next, the another number we have, that is at the index number 2 we have number 3. It will just return 6 and it will just keep going on. I'm gonna say console the log array, and we do get to see 15. So what I actually did, it just did 3 plus at the index number 2, that it was the value 3. It just replaced all of these things with the value of 6, and just at the next index value, that was 4. It just added 4 into it. 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. Now it will add the value of the another index, the next index, that was the index number 4, that was the value 5. It just added the value 5 in it. That gave us 15. There was nothing else it could have done, so it just stopped right there. Well, it's not only you can just only plus it, you can also get the power of these things. You can subtract, plus, divide, blah blah stuff. You can just do literally anything you want to do with it. And that's about the reduce function. So reduce will just have previous state and the current, it will have the previous condition, it will have the previous index and the current index, and it will just keep going through the array like that. You see, it was literally helpful thing. You can really use you can literally use the dot reduce function to iterate to your array, and you can just literally get a lot of help from that. Okay, so we do have another few more options that we can actually use. So the first one is called entries. Will not really much prefer you to use this option, this function, as it doesn't really much help you, but maybe you may want to use it, who knows. Okay, so how we actually use it, we're gonna say 1 2 3 4 4 5 dot entries. You just put it, we're just gonna keep the sign as dot entries. That means it will add this array into this entry stuff. Okay, this entry stuff function. Now you wanna console the log. You wanna say array dot next dot value as an example. Let me just see if this thing actually works. Okay, so what actually does the dot next do? It will just go from nothing to the first index. It will just return, it actually just puts the array into kind of like a another array. So the dot next is like in the loop, like I plus plus. It will increase the index. So we are selecting the first 0 index of the array, and we're getting the value. So here, this is the index and this is the value. And if we will copy and paste the same thing, now it will select the another index, that is index 1, and it will return the value of that index. That is true. So you keep doing this thing, it will keep returning the same thing. Okay, so we're just gonna comment it out like that. So yeah, that's how entries actually work. And then we have the group by. I really love this group by function. You ask me why I love it? Because you can literally group the objects in the array using the group by function. Yeah, you can. Like what you can do, you can say we have an array. In the array, we're just gonna copy the same. We're just gonna literally copy the same array that we had upside. Okay, when I have the same array. Okay, 1 second, my friend just came. So basically, what we're doing with this one. Sorry for the delay in the time. Actually, my friend had came here, and I had to give him a kitten. So it took a little bit while talking with the friend and giving him the kitten. So I'm sorry for the delay in the time, but let's continue. So let's say we have a data array with here. Now what we want to do, we want to sort out the array. We want to group the array. We want to have a group of array. We want to have two sections in the array. First section will contain the data where the money is less than 500, and another one have the data where the money is greater than 500 or greater than that. It doesn't really matter. We're just gonna group it with the condition of if money is smaller than 500, then have a group with the name of something, but if it's not, then we have a group with the name of something. So what we're gonna do for that one, we're just gonna say dot. I think that is not a proper group by function in this one, so we have to write it by ourselves. So that's how we do it. We're just gonna retire. Okay, so we're just gonna say we're gonna say array is equal to data dot group by, and this group by will actually take an object and value of the object, that is in our case money. We want to take the money, we want to give it as an argument. We're just giving it as within the curly brackets because we want to know the structure, the object. We want to say actually like our object dot money. So that's how we do it. Now we want to say return if, okay, it will return it by default. We want to say if money is smaller than 500, we want to return with the we want to put it in the name of poor guys. Otherwise, we want to group it in the people of rich guys. Now we're gonna say console.log array, and let's see how it goes. Group by is not a function. Okay, just give me a minute. So guys, they are showing group by is not a function because the group by is the latest function added in the JavaScript, and it's only supported in the Firefox nightly browser. It's not supported in any single other browser, so that's why I downloaded the Firefox nightly browser just to show you guys. I will go to the link. I will go to click Ctrl plus Q. Oh, Ctrl plus O. Never mind. I'm gonna press F12. You can see only this browser is able to make things right. Yeah, it gave us different arrays. It actually made this two different objects. One was the poor, which contained the objects having less than 500 value. Another one was rich, which was containing more than or equal to 500 value. So that was one example while how we can group those things together. And there's another example that I can really show you right now. That is, if you want to make the data be more like, let's say we have a name of product, we have orange, and we have type color. Okay, so this orange is of type color, and this orange is of type fruits, and then we have another one, gray, of type color, and then we have another fruit which is mango, of type fruit. So now we want to group them according to the types. So how do we do that? We're gonna say array is equal to data dot group by, and do the same thing. We're gonna grab the type, and what we want to do, we just want to return the type. Yeah, that's basically it. We have to do only this thing. We want to grab the fruit, and we want to grab the type and return the type. Okay, my bad, I just typed fruits somewhere. Fruit. Okay, so you can see it returned us two objects. One was color, which was containing orange and gray, and another one is the fruit, which contains orange and mango. So yeah, that's about the group by function in that we can use in the array. And I kind of do like it, but the issue with it right now is that it's not compatible with any other browser except the Firefox nightly. Literally, If you will download the Firefox beta, it will not work. If you will download the latest version Chrome, it will not work. It's only supported in Firefox nightly. Or you can do another thing, you can just go to Google, you can just copy the actual code that the group by function actually has. So you can just paste it somewhere, and you can just use the data.group by actually creating a prototype, by hard coding the prototype your own self. Otherwise you have to use the nightly browser. Well, that was it for the group by function. Now let's see another function. So now this is going to be the second last one, and then we will have the last function that we'll be discussing in our today's tutorial. It's going to be the flat function. Now what this flat does, I will just explain that right away. Now let's suppose we have some array like this one, but in here we have another sub array. So basically what is going to happen when you're going to just try to console the log the array. Okay, so data.group by is not a function. Alrighty. Let me just do it like that for now. So basically we do get 1 2 3 4, and we get an array, and that array will have its own value. So basically, let's suppose you know that the value, that there can be multiple arrays, but what you want actually, you don't want the array, you don't want this subarray to be an array, you want it to be just like a normal value. For that we will actually use dot flat. So dot flat will have a depth by default. So by default it will have a depth of 1. That means if it will find any array with a depth of 1, so this is a subarray, so it will just remove this array and it will just convert this, it will just basically replace the value from the array, and it will just replace all of this index. Instead of having the array, it will just put the value in here. So I will show you, it will just show you 1 2 3 4 5. So by default the depth is 1, so basically it has the capability of removing the value from the array with the depth of 1. But if what about we have a sub array which has array in itself, and that array has a value, we want to get the value, but by default we give it the depth of 1, so it will only be able to remove one layer of the array, not the second one. You can see it will return the array which is containing the value. So if you change the depth to 2, it will be actually able to remove up to 2 layers of the array from your normal array. So you can see it was able to remove this array from your normal arrays, stuff like that. So basically, yeah, you can just create multiple arrays like that. You can create 5, and if I put this 5 in another 5, so it will just give me like array like that. If I'm going to increase the depth power, it all depends upon you how much you want to give it the power. So with the depth of 3, it can remove up to 3 layers of the array in itself. So yeah, if I will give it a normal depth of 1, I will show you what actually happens. We will get an array, not here, we get an array. Inside the array we get another array, and inside the array we get the value. So you can see it makes the stuff a lot more complicated. So basically we'll give it a depth of 3, and yeah, we are able to see all of the values. Quite good function. Not gonna say the best one, but it will help you a lot in any of the conditions that you will get stuck in. You wanna just remove the, that the values are same, but you just wanna get rid of the arrays inside it. You just wanna show the values that they are in the array. So basically you can just use dot flat function to do that. Same easy as that one. We have another last one of, okay, we just have to type array of here. What you can do with this, we're typing array of, so you can basically check what's going to happen when you're gonna convert something to an array. Let's say we want to check what's going to happen if I'm going to convert hello and 1 to an array. Do you know? I don't know. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm just going to say error is equal to, I'm going to say console the log error. Let's see what's going to happen. So yeah, basically it converted it to an array. We got a string of hello, and we got number 1 in there. So that's kind of like a way where with the help of we can convert a string into an array. Well, yeah, you can actually convert the string into array using array.of your values, your strings, your numbers, whatever you want to have there. You can just do it like that. So yeah, you have a lot of methods that you can basically use. And we have another options. One second. So the last one is called the array from array of array dot from hello log array. Yeah, it did converted our string into an array. It just got into all of the characters, and yeah. Okay, that was it for this one. We talked about every single function that we have in arrays. So yeah, it was a good video. Subscribe, like, share, and I will see you in the next one.